I'm not normally someone to review things, but these shoes are on a different level. I just need to talk about them and kind of make this video because of what I want to say. My name's Salvatore. I'm a 9 to 5 office worker, someone who still wears a suit and a tie together, someone who loves to ride his bike to work, have a ice cold, refreshing shower, sip an espresso in the morning, and kind of roll up my sleeves, cook amazing plant-based food and vegan food and the like for myself and my girlfriend, have amazing culinary adventures and adventures in the like. Someone who seeks to lace up my running shoes and cross the finish line faster than I ever thought possible in the fire of competition. But then also someone who is a storyteller, someone who came from the idea of being quite an introverted, someone that played way too much video games, watched way too much anime in my room, and kind of transitioned to someone that actually started to conquer mountains in a figurative sense and then also a literal sense, more on the literal later, which then takes me to today's video because that's important because it kind of wraps back to this. It is the review of the Adidas Velosambas and what I have to share about them. Okay, so Adidas Velosambas, they're right here. Why am I talking about these? Let's start with the design of these shoes because these are super duper cool. So here we have like a pretty normal looking like Samba, the velos on that part there. It seems that the white here and here is actually reflective, which makes it super safe when you're actually riding on these. So using the bike, I mean, because see, the thing is with cycling, you want to stand out as much as you can to motorists and the like. Because your feet are moving, there's this thing called like like a biomotion of like visibility because you've kind of got this shiny object that's moving opposed to if your top was just fluorescent, it's more static because your body doesn't move much. But the beautiful thing about these, because there's two, you're going left and right, it actually creates quite a visual marker to those on the road at night. So I totally tick and endorse that. They basically share like the same kind of design cue as the Sambas themselves. The silhouette slightly changed to accommodate for the fact they're a cycling shoe slightly. But one of the coolest things I love about these is you'll see right here, there's this little tab and toggle. It actually is to secure the laces because see, the thing is when you're actually riding the bike and pedaling, laces are kind of like the devil or the enemy because if these kind of get caught up in the gears, in the drivetrain, which is kind of the like the metal bit that shifts on your bike, it can be quite not a great situation. So this kind of gives you that level of assurance to say, hey, you can tuck your things in here, but when you don't want to, you can kind of just put it to the side and pop your laces out and it just looks like a normal shoe. So it's kind of really like subtly, like really, really cool. And of course, the inside is actually really cushioned, and then so too, there's this really nice lush insole. But that's kind of like not all. If we kind of, I guess, flip them over, you'll see that they've got a recessed area, which you've got two things. You've got this plastic like plate, which reinforces the whole stiffness of the shoe, meaning the shoe can't really bend as much. Now, this is important from a cycling point of view because if the shoe bends, it means that bending force is taken away from the pedals and kind of neutralized by the shoe. But by having the shoe pretty stiff, as you can see, it kind of gets rid of that need. And also the idea of a cleat, beautiful thing about this, double-sided, is that you can kind of generate way more effort and it's a lot easier to kind of pedal than if you had like flat pedals where you don't have the up motion when you kind of, you can only push down, you can't pull up. These you can do both. You can kind of, you know what I mean? And then there's also the idea that it's recessed. So from a design point of view, I love the look of this gum sole, but from a design point of view, if you're actually walking in these, people can't actually discern that they're cycling shoes, but they are, right? Now, if I kind of talk about the idea of the stiffness of the shoe, it's like not say as comfortable as like say a Stan Smith, which there's like this one, which you can see I can bend really easily. but it kind of doubles because there's more of a benefit in terms of using it as a shoe. But see, the thing is, in my $300 gravel shoes, which have a full carbon plate, which are even stiffer than that, like if I was to ride to say the city and then come off the bike and start walking around in these, it would be pretty obvious these are cycling shoes, and it kind of really wouldn't work with a lot of outfits apart from if I just like look like a cyclist. If I was to go to the cafe on my bike, get off my bike, walk around, no problem, it looks fine. If I was to kind of ride to work, and this is my next point, the idea of riding to work is fine because I changed my shoes. But because these are so stiff and strong, it kind of feels like I'm taking a knife to a, no, a gun to a knife fight, because my commute's really short and these are kind of like too stiff and I kind of have to get off the bike, walk to the shower and so on and so forth. So from a design point of view, I feel that these shoes have really kind of nailed something special in terms of being able to make something that is viable for both the, like when you're on the bike and off the bike, which then once that leads me to, which leads me to my next point, cycling performance. Do these actually work as a cycling shoe? And you know what, that's a good point. I've seen a lot of reviews where people talk about, oh, these aren't really that great of a cycling shoe. But see, for what I promote and what I believe in terms of commuting and regular use of the bike, I feel that these actually do the job. And I have a story to share on that. So about 2 days ago, I had to get a haircut. So I was actually kind of running a bit late and I kind of had what I was normally wearing, like some jeans and a top. And I decided, well, I should probably start, making a move and getting to my appointment. And I put these on and I went as fast as I could. And these shoes kept up. They did not disappoint. They didn't bend too much. I felt like I was actually in these shoes, to be honest. Like it felt like I couldn't really tell the difference. I mean, obviously I could because I know how the shoe feels. But if I was to kind of put these on and just ride, like it wasn't that obvious. And the benefit of having the cleat is that actually it's properly secure. Whereas if I was to kind of ride to the barber, my haircut in these shoes, it really wouldn't work and it's not as safe, especially going at that speed. But because this thing is actually, got the cleat and the stiffer sole, it really works to allow you to put the pedal to the metal and kind of get from point A to point B. And then I got off the bike and then I walked in there and no one could tell I had cycling shoes on because I was running late. So again, I saved time. And that's the beauty of this. It kind of saves you a lot of time if you think about like it, which kind of takes me to the versatility and style of these. As you kind of know, these are the Sambas. They've been around for like over 100 years, I think. At this point, I know I'm very late to the party on these, but my girlfriend kind of showed me these and I decided I kind of wanted to, bite the bullet and give these a shot. So they kind of take the styling of the normal Samba. The sole's a little bit thicker, but from a style and functionality point of view, these are kind of great if you've got like a lot of jean like outfits. So you wear like a pair of like jeans, you can kind of wear more of like a streetwear casual outfit. And it's pretty easy to kind of like pull off without too much effort, like jeans and a t-shirt, jeans and a sweater, jeans and like a linen shirt. Like it's pretty easy. And then also you can kind of also pull off a like business casual look with these somewhat. Like if you kind of wear, a nice pair of pants like chino, maybe tuck in a shirt or wear a sweater, you can kind of get away with it. Now the only thing is because of like these are quite a lot black and they look like a sneaker. If you were to kind of get, say, they do what's called the Velo stand, which is basically this but more like this, then like white leather, shoes are, a bit easier to kind of pair in kind of a more casual, and it kind of depends what office environment you work at, I get it, but it kind of works more for that. See, that's kind of like, the thing is, these shoes don't have a whole lot of colorways, and the colorways that I think are actually the best of these shoes aren't really around, and if I was kind of to get them, they're super expensive, which I kind of cover on the like pros and cons now. like pros, practicality. So if I was to ride to the grocery store, I'm not going to wear my cycling shoes I've just shown. I'm going to wear these because I can get off, lock up my bike and walk into the store and get back on and then like go. It just saves time, and those little things of time add up. But more so it's kind of like the flow of energy. Like you get the freedom of riding the bike and then you get to kind of go off, get what you need. You've got like so much more traction because it's a proper like sole. So walking around is so much easier. So big pro to that. Price point. These I got for about $100, and I'm going to put the link in the description where you can get them as well. They're still kind of got a few pairs left, and I think it's a really good deal. Like they're normally about 200 bucks, but this for 100 bucks, like I'm really impressed with it because it kind of fills the need of kind of two shoes. It's kind of got a casual shoe to it, but also like a cycling shoe as well. That's kind of for commuting, and kind of I can wear kind of like more chilled outfits, if that makes sense, to ride to work. Instead of like a full cycling kit, I could wear like my cycling shorts and a t-shirt. I could wear my cycling bib shorts and like a jumper or something, or a jacket. Like I can kind of change it up a little bit, which is kind of interesting because I don't really have to ride that far. So it's exciting to make things a little bit different. But from a like like con point of view, I'd say the colors. Like, okay, these are pretty basic, and a lot of people know this colorway, which is good. It's not too out there, but a lot of the colors that they've also got available now are like some are really hit and miss, and like I feel it could go a lot better in terms of having more, not only colors but availability. There is an all white version of these, but you can kind of only get them on like kind of second hand, like reselling websites, which is going to cost a little bit more. And same true for the coolest colorway of these, which is like a brown or a cream, which looks unbelievable and kind of would work with more like business casual outfits because it's kind of got like a nice brown and can really work. So that is kind of like a con for me, and it's kind of like a bit of a little like gripe. It just depends on your own preference in terms of your own style and kind of what you want to use them for. But I'm still grateful for these shoes and the colorway of this. It's still pretty versatile. So I've got no complaints on that front, if that makes sense. But kind of like that's one of the cons I could give. So I mean, it kind of because it's quite a niche shoe in itself. And if you kind of want something that's probably more versatile from a style point of view, you can get the Velo stands, or there's another type of shoe called a Chapter 3 Transit, which kind of takes the idea of a sneaker, like a high-end sneaker, in terms of like really nice design, and kind of translate that to a really good cycling shoe as well, which is nice, but it's also very expensive. This is kind of like a cool try out. You can smash this. Now, because it's kind of got, what you can do is also, I'd probably recommend you get like a waterproof fur to just protect it if you want to ride in the elements. So it doesn't really kind of get as wet and dirty. And probably like my final pro, I know I'm jumping around, will probably be this like elastic tongue because, see, the thing is, this is kind of something that's really good from a design point of view, and I think it's really perfect for this shoe. And I guess the real reason I wanted to kind of make this video is I talk about the idea of like conquering mountains and conquering life. I've got the idea that, or what I mainly preach is consistency and kind of the tortoise versus the hare, kind of slower gains made over a long period of time. And see, the thing is, if you're kind of someone that wants to start cycling, and like you have to buy a cycling shoe, and you kind of like, well, like you want to look like a cyclist. The cool thing about these is if I'm kind of saying to you that the best way to start is to commute to work, commute to the city, to the grocery store, a shoe like this is really viable because everyone knows what a Samba looks like. So it's quite familiar to you, but you've kind of got the added benefit that it's actually a really good cycling shoe. So from an experience and enjoyment point of view, you're going to really enjoy like cycling. Of course, I have a disclaimer to say if you're not used to clipping in, you want to practice a lot, you want to dial the retention as loose as you can. But assuming that you can kind of take the time to practice in a quiet street, clip in and out lots and lots, you can kind of eventually build the confidence and you can use these and you're going to have so much more benefit. So the thing about this is it compounds in the sense that A, it's something you want to use. But B, by using it and using it more often, you're more likely to ride the bike, which means you're going to be further progressed in your fitness and weight loss journey. And you kind of want to inspire other people to ride bikes as well. And that might mean, this becomes more popular, Adidas do more colors, or other companies come up with the idea or do a similar thing, like maybe Nike start doing it on their more like well-known sneaker designs. You know what I mean? Like, see how it kind of flows from a like getting the word out there, and why I was so instrumental in wanting to talk about this. See, for me, when I started cycling about 6, 7 years ago, if I had something like this, it would be like the coolest thing ever. I could like ride these to work and work in a cafe, and that'd be super cool. I could like, use these to go do errands, go to university and just wear these the whole day. Opposed to kind of having like an extra change of shoes. Like it just, it's like, it's such a light bulb aha moment that it's like, man, these are so cool. And that's kind of why I wanted to share it with you. And, they're pretty good price. Now, to kind of get on the point of the literal sense of conquering the mountain, which I've kind of hinted at, I believe that the best way to do so is with a product I've created called Life Cycles. It basically takes you through everything you need to know about like what bike to get, the perfect bike, ensuring that everything that you need to get, you get. Basically, I explain, lights, helmet, lock, kind of cycling, clothing, what you need, what you don't need. I break it down into really easy to follow terms, guides, and it's really dependent on like kind of, I tailor it to what season you're in and where you live, so that you can kind of know what you need to focus on more and less of to kind of save you the money. And kind of through that, I then take it to what your first bike ride's like, how to plan and prepare that, how to document it on Strava. But I also take you through training on the bike to actually how to leverage it in terms of not only commuting, but weekend rides, interval training. I talk about how to conquer a mountain in a literal sense, like how to actually go about it. I talk about pacing. I talk about fueling on the bike. I talk about mindset, because it's going to be hard when you're up on that mountain. It can rain. It can be really windy. It can be cold. There's a lot of factors in there that you don't know until you get there. And that's kind of what I've shared from my lessons in this product. And then there's also everything off the bike, eating, recovery. So you can get back on the bike quicker and kind of continue and leverage that consistency to kind of see an incredible weight loss, but also fitness transformation. It's like unlocking the self of the kid that you had, but combining that with a goal and aspiration of conquering a mountain, this big thing in a literal sense, that you now have the confidence to do with this. So if you kind of want to support this channel and kind of support me in what I'm trying to do and take yourself to the next level, it's cheaper than an Uber Eats order. It's in the link below, Life Cycles. Get on it. Thank you for watching this video of the Adidas Velosambas. Totally recommend them for you. If you're looking to get them, I've got the link down below of the exact ones and the exact colorway I got. There's a couple of sizes left and they're half price. I'm not getting any commission from these. I bought these with my own money, but like I kind of want to share that. So as I always say, conquer mountains, conquer life. Thank you.